there anything we take away from this?
No, I think it's one of those games where everybody knew England were probably going to win. I think there would have been more questions asked if maybe they conceded a goal and so on, but I think it was an exercise for Southgate to be able to try a few players out, see what the combinations are like, and I think you'll probably see a slight change in team should the game on Sunday go ahead and the game after that. So it was a weird one. You know, the games where you do want to watch, but then the fact of the matter is, you know, what are you really going to try and get from it? And yeah, some players there got a chance to have a run out. They did what they needed to do. It was business as usual, and England continue overall with what's been a good run for the past few years. But like I say, it was a tough game to watch because it was essentially so one-sided. But you know, you can't necessarily pick your opponent when you're qualifying. So credit to them, they're top of the table, and hopefully they stay there.
Don, England favourites to win the Euros in the summer. Why are you laughing?
You beat San Marino 5-0 and now you're favourites.
No, we were favourites before that, but let's not get into...
really?
They are...
What, before Germany?
Yes.
Belgium?
Yes.
France?
Yes.
Portugal?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm not lying. That's fact. England are the favourites to win the Euros ahead of Belgium and France. So on that point, Don, is anything but a win this summer a failure for Gareth Southgate's side?
Well, I mean, probably not, because I've not got them favourites. I've no idea who's put them above ranked number one in the world, Belgium, so I've got no idea how that works.
The bookies, Don.
Well, how can the bookies have England number one when Belgium are ranked number one in the world? How does that work?
But this is how the bookies see it. That's it. That's fact.
The bookies are wrong. Well, lump on England.
Right.
Get your money on England. And watch you lose yourself some pounds. Hey, by the way, some notable mentions, by the way. Raheem Sterling had the armband tonight. Ollie Watkins, you know, you follow his career and look what he's done all the way back since his Exeter days and when he was playing non-league football. Dominic Calvert-Lewin with a brace tonight. So, joking aside, there was some good performances. But, yeah, it was a routine win.
I didn't ask you about the game, Don. I asked if they're going to win the Euros.
Well, no.
Nedum, what is success? What is success for this English side this summer?
So, because they got to the semi-finals of a World Cup, and now they're at the Euros, and the semi-finals and the final of the Euros are in England, I think if they're not thinking about winning the tournament, then I think they're essentially missing the point. They've got a really good squad, good young squad, so many possibilities, a really great opportunity to be able to bring people in and out. Like, it's hard to pick a starting 11, and this is one of them. Like, that's the team which I would go for. But you're thinking, do I go for this person? Do I go for that person? That on paper is a good team. In fact, I think it's a very good team, especially for the teams that are around right now. But as we see in historical with England, a good team on paper doesn't necessarily guarantee success. But to be able to be hosting so much of the Euros this summer, I think they honestly believe that they've got a good opportunity. And looking at that team, I think if you go through 1 to 11, you're not going to be finding many teams who have a far better team than that. So I think they have to be hopeful. Belgium, obviously, they're the number one ranked team in the world, so you can disregard what the bookmakers say in this particular instance. But I think on any given day, England could beat anybody, especially in the Euros, and especially if they manage to play those games in familiar surroundings. So I don't know if they will win it, but this is probably the best chance that I've seen them have in my entire lifetime. Maybe Don would agree with me on that.
Go on, Stevie. Is that team good enough to win the Euros?
Do you know, I think England can put a team out that could beat anybody.
Right.
I don't think that's really the question. The question is, can England's players and coaching staff handle the expectation? Because they went to the World Cup and nobody gave them a chance of doing anything. And all of a sudden, they're in the semis and it's, my goodness, they've actually got a chance of winning this thing. Now it's completely gone the other way, and historically, England and the players and the coaches collapse when there's any sort of expectation on them. So I don't think it's a case of can England put a team out that's capable of beating everybody. It's what's going to happen upstairs. Can they take the pressure? I'm not so sure they can.
Is there a difference to this generation, Don? Do you think they can handle that pressure?
I think they can. I think they're good enough. They're a good side. What I would say, just to counteract that, and I don't know if it means anything, it's always fun when you're writing down a possible England 11, but when you look at Portugal's, they're putting 3 players for every position, the same as France. I mean, France's squad, And the pool of players they're picking from is ridiculous. Some of them can't even make the squad. But when you look at what Gareth Southgate's got to work with, I mean, some of the brightest young talent at the top end of the pitch, I've seen England, play for a long time or potentially play for a long time. I mean, unbelievable talent. So if he goes for it and he sacrifices maybe that clean sheets are not going to be his bag and maybe he gives one goal away, at the top end of the pitch, there's some serious goals in them.
Nedum?
Yeah, I was going to say I agree with you, Don. I think this tournament itself, for me, I see it more as a test for Southgate because I think he does have the talent, but can he manage to get the best out of them? And I think at the World Cup, some people would probably say when they needed it the most, they were probably a little bit too negative. And I don't think Southgate necessarily made the changes that he needed to try and change the game in a positive manner when they got to the semi-final. And the hope is for them that those experiences will help them in this period now. And like I say, the team and the talent is there. We can talk about Portugal's having 2-3 players in every position, and that's great, but there are probably a few teams like that. And in this instance, I think England fall into that category. So, as I say, it could come down to coaching and understanding. And the players, they are under pressure. Can they handle that pressure? Well, at this moment for England, there are lots of players who, for their club sides at least, play under pressure every single week, who are making it into quarterfinals, semi-finals of Champions League. And now there's a group of players who also made it to the semi-final of a World Cup. So maybe, just maybe, if things fall their way and the coaching decisions are correct, I think, as I say, the more positive outlook in terms of how they want to play, if they do that because of the abundance of attacking talent they have, I think that they have to be part of the conversation, in my opinion.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.